Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. Always is. I always say, oh, I'm gonna release a video after every 2 weeks. That doesn't happen. African lie. It is what it is. But I'm here now, okay? I don't have my sisters with me or anybody to bounce off on, so I'm just gonna be like bouncing off myself. Okay, back to you. Like I always say, I have stories for days. So I've got a story, but this story has got a point. Like I always tell you stories that are real life stories from my point of view. Whether that means that I messed up or I've just got this aura that just comes across like weird ass people. But it's a story. It is what it is. But this is something that happened a long time ago. So I thought I should share it with you. Here we go. So a long time ago, I was most probably like in my 20s. Maybe it was about 20. Did I have my son then? I didn't have my son. I was about 23, 24. I was just, just finished like college, and I was qualified in my beauty therapy, and I was kind of hustling. I was working in a hairdresser's and I was hustling on the side, trying to get like customers and stuff like that. So I lived for a bit. Okay, I'm not going to say the town. I lived with my mother for a bit. I moved out of Leeds and went to live with my mom for a bit in a small town. It was a small town. And there were quite a few black people. So for me, it was an advantage, because if I was doing what I was doing the hair and the makeup and everything, then, at least I would have an opportunity to get more clients, because there were no black hairdressers or anything in that area. So I was cool. So I moved from Leeds to live with my mom for a bit, because I was absolutely broke and I thought I can't afford to live by myself. I finished college and everything, so let me just kind of get myself on my feet, live with my mom, and then move back to Leeds, because Leeds is here for me. So that was the plan, just to kind of move with my mom for a bit. So I moved into this town and, working in a salon and doing little customers on the side here and there, right? So obviously word of mouth goes round. There's a girl that does hair, she does hair. So this one particular lady rings me, right? Let's call her Mrs. X. Mrs. X rang me. Hi, Tamale, how you doing? Got your number from so-and-so. Can you do my hair? And can you do my daughter's hair? Right? And I was like, yeah, sure thing. Like, we exchanged details and everything and came to a price. I went to her house. It was just her and her daughter, and I did her hair, I did her daughter. She was very happy. She called me in the evening. She says, oh my god, my husband has seen my hair, he absolutely loves it, can I book you in advance for next month? And I'm like, oh wow. And she's like, oh, I've got a friend as well who needs a hair doing, and she's got 2 sisters, because with hair dressing, it's always word of mouth. You do a good job, somebody recommends you. So I'm like, oh my god, great. So she recommends me to her friend and the sisters and everything. So from this particular lady, I'm not gonna lie, I got about 20 people just from her. And from those 20 people, I got more, because it was just word of mouth. Like, people just like, oh my god, she does good hair, not trying to, beat my own drum or anything. But so one day when I was just, minding my own business as usual, just doing my own thing at home, my phone rings, right? And it's a man's voice. And he's like, hello. He didn't tell me his name or whatever. He's just like, I got your details, right? And I've got dreadlocks and I just wanted a retwist. Are you available today? So I said, yeah. I think in those days as well, like, sat-navs were not a thing. I didn't think there was those. I don't think sat-navs were a thing. So we were constantly like, he was trying to find out where I was, because I was at home, and he was calling me like, Tamale, where do I turn? I'm in this street, so where do I go after this street? So I was like, no, you turn there, you turn here, and I was giving him directions over the phone, and he got a little bit lost. I called him, and then he called me, and eventually, anyway, he found the house. He got to the house, everything was cool. He was wearing a hat, like a beanie thing. So comes in the house, and my mom was sleeping, I remember, and the moment he took off his hat, takes it off, I wanted to burst out laughing because this man had hardly any hair on his head, right? There was like 5 dreadlocks here, 5 dreadlocks there, maybe 2 in the back. This whole bit, there was nothing. It was bare. It was bare. Bare. There was nothing here. So I was like, let me tell my mom, because me and my mom, we like to key. So I was like, Mom, mother, like, mother, there's a man, right, with no hair on his head, and he thinks he's got dreadlocks and he wants a retwist. What do I do? Like, how was I even gonna go through his hair without laughing? But I was like, you know what, Tamale, you're a professional. Yeah, you do this. You know, put your work mode face on and just do. Literally, those dreadlocks took me 5 minutes because there was hardly anything on it, and I just put a little bit of oil, you know, just to give this bit a little shine, and just give it a little shine, and to look like his hair's just been done. And mind you, like, I used to have a lot of male clients in those days, because those days, like, the cane rolls were popular. I'm sorry, I feel like there's something. Okay, here we go. So those days the cane rolls were popular and stuff, so people would pass numbers. I was just thinking, you know what, that's just another client, right? Yeah. So my mom passed through pretending like she's going to make herself a cup of tea. Magic. So and she's looking and she's giving me the eye like, oh my god, this man has no hair, he's bare. Like, so, you know, we kiki-kid about it after he left, and we're just laughing, like, we're absolutely laughing. And a week later, my phone rings with private. Now, I don't answer private numbers, no matter what, but it rang like 4 times, a private number, and I thought maybe it's an emergency and somebody's using somebody's phone. I don't know. I just thought, you know what, somebody who's calling that much, it should be an emergency, because I don't pick up private numbers. I just don't. So I picked up the phone, and it was Mrs. X on the phone. And she's like, hi, is that Timali? I was like, hey, Mrs. X, how you doing? Right? That's good. And she's like, Tamale, I'm not happy with you. So you're the one that's been sleeping with my husband. And I was like, what? She's like, you've been sleeping with my husband. I was like, what? And I'm like, your husband? Who's your husband? Like, oh, wait a minute. Your husband? Who's your husband? Because now, you know, obviously you have a moment of doubting yourself, like, who have I been sleeping with, you know, that's married, you know? But obviously at that time, that was only like 23, 24. I wasn't really like, anyway, let's not get into that age. But I know, right, I wasn't sleeping with anybody's husband at that time. So ever, okay, ever. So she's like, yeah, you've been sleeping with my husband. I've seen your phone. I've received a bill, and your phone number is there 8 times on one occasion, and he keeps calling you, and you keep calling him. I'm like, when was this? And she gave me the date, and I literally had to go and check, you know, in my diary, like, what I was doing on that day. And I realized, no, I said, listen, there was this man that was calling back. I didn't even get the man's name. And I was like, there's this man that was calling me because he was trying to get directions, and I kept calling him because he wanted to have his dreadlocks twisted. I was like, is your husband the one with the bald patch and the dreadlocks? And she's like, yeah, that's my husband. I was like, girl, no, ma'am, no. And she's like, no, I know girls like you. So she thought, because she was like an older lady, after everything I've done for you, girls like you, blah blah blah, are the ones that run around town, so now everybody knows about you. I was like, what? I was like, listen, I don't know your husband, I don't know his name, and I like, literally how I remember that it was your husband, because there was one guy that came with no hair and 3 dreadlocks at the side of his head. Like, that's how I remember. I can't even remember his face because I never even looked at him like that. We never even had a conversation. And she's like, well, I'm coming after you. I'm coming for you. If it's not you that's sleeping with my husband, it's your mom. I'm like, what? You know, some women are crazy. Like, crazy, mad crazy. Yeah. Because you're walking around town wearing this, that, and the other with your red lipstick. I don't know where this came from. God asked, I'm just repeating what she said. So I put the phone on loudspeaker and my mom is there. And I'm like, Mom, are you, I mean, is that your man? Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm confused, right? And then she started telling me about their personal business. I said, listen, Mrs. X, I don't know your husband. I don't know him like that. Can you please just ask him and confirm with him that I'm not sleeping? I don't know him like that. Like, I don't know him, right? And she's like, well, he's here. And I was like, well, what's his name? I didn't even know his name. I was like, Mr. X, like, can you just tell your wife that we're not sleeping together? Like, I'm not even with you like that. And the man is just quiet and is like, well, you know what's been happening between the two of us. You know, like, what's wrong with men? What's wrong with some men? What is, I don't know how to ask this. I don't know what to say. And my heart sank. I felt like I actually was angry because I wanted to come after him. I was like, why would he say something like that? Like, what? And then she goes and says, I know you've booked a holiday together for 2 weeks where you're not going anywhere because I saw on his credit card that there was a holiday booked to wherever for 2 weeks for 2 people. Well, that's not happening. You know what? You want my husband so much. You have him. And she's going on and on and on. And then she cut the phone. Right? So now I'm sitting, I'm thinking, is this woman for real? Like, is this woman serious? And I understand why a woman would call another woman, and if the other woman denied it, you still wouldn't believe it because you've got like paper trail. But it's a bit dumb because the only paper trail was the one day with the phone calls, right? I don't know. Anyway, let's fast forward. So I kind of ignored the thing, and then I realized like I was losing customers, and they're like, oh no. And one of them was like, we heard that you were sleeping with Mr. X, and considering what Mrs. X has done for you, how could you do that? I said, I'm not, you know, there's no way you can say without people not believing you, because these were like, at that time, they were like, to me, they're like older women. They most probably were in like their late 30s or 40s. So like, I kind of had respect for them. So I was like, there's no way, why would I lie to you? Like, why would I? It's not even, I'm not even on that level. So no. Anyway, nobody believed me. Nobody believed me, not one bit. And you know, when you're walking in a town and people are like side eyeing you, like you're that woman, you know. And it kind of got to me, and I was like to my mom, and up to the point where my mom was looking at me side-eyed. I was like, Tamale, just tell me the truth. I'm your mom. Did you? I said, Mom, I don't know this man from Adams. I never, you know, I just cannot. He doesn't have hair. First of all, on top of all the other things, it's not my thing. I can't do it. Like, Mom, believe me, right? So, fast forward. I think this woman never got over it, so she was pissed off because she believed like I did something. So fast forward a couple of months, my boss rings me, right? And he's like, Tamale, don't come to work today. I've had a couple of women come in here today. One of them claims that you've been sleeping with her husband. But I told them that what Tamale does in her personal time is her personal time. This is her work. So when she's at work, she's at work. So if you've got beef with Tamale and it's about whatever, deal with it at home. And I was like, thank you so much, because I would never do anything like that. And he was like, no, Tamale, I know you. That's why I said what I said. But don't come into work today because maybe they're kind of waiting for you. And I thought, what? So I had one really good friend, and I called him up. I was like, friend, let's go for a drive or whatever. Like, I can't deal with this. So we went together, went to Birmingham, I think, just for the day, like just to unwind, because I was like, this is a bit too much. Went for the day and stopped at a petrol station on the way to Birmingham. And at the petrol station, I saw a red car, and there was this girl, right, with a big ass bum, right? The bum was like huge. And I was telling my friend, I was like, listen, look at this girl with a bum coming out of this red car. She's wearing a really short skirt, and she turns around, she's got this red lipstick and sunglasses, and I'm like, okay, okay. And then she comes, and then when she came out of the car, then there was a guy following her, holding, like running behind her, and then he held her waist. And then I'm looking at him, looking at the back of the head. I'm like, I know that head. I know that head. Like, are my eyes playing tricks on me? I know, you see how God works? I was like, I know this head. I know this person. And then the turnaround came out from the shop. And then they turn around, and then it's Mr. X with some random girl with red lipstick on. And they're all like lovey-doveyed up. Oh my God. Because you know, like, I'm classy. And I like drama. I'm not that girl. I was so mad. Because he was protecting this girl, whoever she was, by telling his wife that it was me. Oh my God, like, I went off on him. And it's like, no, listen. No, listen. This can be just worked out. That whole rumor is gonna die down. I said, no, it's not gonna die down. Like, the fuck? No. I'll give you money. You just go enjoy yourself. Go shopping. Whatever. I mean, I'm shallow, but I'm not shallow. You know what I'm saying? I did think about it, but I was like, no. I was thinking, if you say I'll give you money, how much are we talking? Because we're going to Birmingham shopping. But obviously, I was like, no, sir. I was like, nah, it's not happening. So I call Mrs. X, right? And I was like, your man is here with another woman. It's not me. Like, I'm not the one. And my friend, my good friend, she was taking pictures. And I was like, it's not me. And you people, like, you've just been coming. And I've been telling you several times, it's not me. That's the girl. So anyway, it was a whole hoo-ha. And I took pictures. We took pictures and everything. Called Mrs. X and said, your hubby out here in the streets with some next girl. It's not me. Okay. And drove back. Okay, after the day, actually drove back home. And showed my mom the pictures and everything. My mom was like, but why was this woman going out on you? Like, she was completely convinced. There's nothing I would have said, there's nothing I would have done that was going to convince her that I'm not the girl. And the man is so stupid to say, listen, Tamale, just tell her what's been happening between me. I was like, is he mad? So fast forward years later, just years later, because I still had that thing, you know, when somebody, it's funny when somebody accuses you of something that you have not done, and then like it's still there. You feel this level of like, there's a bitterness or a resentment there that you think, you know, I can't explain the feeling, but it's always there. Like, even when the years go by, that feeling is always there. So fast forward, years later, I went back, you know, just to visit my mom. Back in Leeds, went to visit my mom and bumped into this woman, Mrs. X. And she's like, oh, Auntie Molly, hey, girl, how you doing? I'm like, is she alright? Like, you know, like, I didn't get no apology. Oh, hugs, kisses, long time. Haven't seen you in ages. Like, how you doing, girl? I'm like, okay, okay. And I'm thinking, is she alright? And she's like, I was like, oh, how are you and how's the family? It's like, oh, family is alright, but you know, I divorced my husband. And I'm thinking, okay, so all this time, it wasn't me. And you know it wasn't me. I wanted to say something, but I didn't. Lesson learned. I learned my lesson from then on. So, I stopped doing men's hair. A period. I didn't want no drama. I was just like, I'm done. And I literally like just hid in my shell, kept myself in a little corner, because that experience, yeah, I think it actually traumatized me. Because you know when you're walking around town and people are just looking at you like side-eyed, like you're something, you know, bruh. But I'm okay with it. But every time I think about it, it makes me feel some type of way. And I hope Mrs. X is watching, because you were wrong. You were wrong for making, like, I was just a 23-year-old girl. Like, you made me feel really bad about myself. You know, marinate on that. But otherwise, I'm good now. But it's something that I said I should share. And women, don't ever do that to other women. It's a horrible feeling. Like, sometimes trust that it's your man that's lying, and 9 times out of 10 he is. Believe that. So yeah, I've got quite a few new projects coming up, and I'm super excited. Like, pray for me and hope that this is good, that it's gonna work out. I have faith that it will work out. But it's been fun, and hopefully I'll catch you next time and we can chat. I'm hoping to have like my brother or my sisters with me, because it's like those are the only people I know. Like, my friends are busy. So I kind of have to latch onto my siblings, but we good. Yeah, so bye.